It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl. Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the It's Wrestling Time Impact Wrestling post show. Alright, so tonight's Impact Wrestling was the go home show, Too Hard to Kill, and it kicked off with a 6 knockout tag team match. On one side, we had Tasha, Steelz, Chelsea Green, and Lady Frost versus Jordyne, Grace, Rachael, Ellering, and Rosemary. So this match was a good match, good way to kick off Impact Wrestling. I have to say, Lady Frost really impressed me the most in this match. You know, she hadn't impressed me previously. This was her debut on Impact as a. Actually, no, it wasn't. So she was recently signed with Impact. So very impressive if you ask me. All right, so of course, Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, and Lady Frost got the win after Lady Frost pretty much took out everyone with the moonsault. All right, so then after this, we had a Moose promo in which he was talking about how at Hard to Kill most, he's going to be in the ring with two men he's pissed off, which makes them very dangerous. He said that he's done some evil and despicable things to get to where he is now. And just imagine what he is capable of and what he's willing to do to keep the Impact World Championship. He said that any other champion will sit here and complain and say the odds are stacked against him, but not him. Oh, and how they can lose their match without being pinned or submitted. He says this is a no DQ match and anything can happen. And he is looking forward to it. This is on that day, he will prove to the world why he is the most dangerous man in the locker room and the most dangerous world champion in all of professional wrestling. And signs off by saying he, the wrestling god, Moose. That's a great promo if you ask me. I'm really excited for Hard to Kill. All right, after this, we had Jonah versus Jake Something. Where the hell has Jake Something been? I feel like we haven't seen him in forever. This was a good match. Jake Something gave it his all. He took down Jonah with a running shoulder tackle, and he took him outside with a dive, but it just wasn't enough. Jonah ended up splashing into him, ended up victorious. So then after this, Josh Alexander comes out. He attacks Jonah and attempts to put him in the ankle lock. Security breaks them up. Josh Alexander breaks free and goes after Jonah. Then Jonah breaks free. He knocks out security guarding, gives Josh Alexander the senton. Then he grabs the table. Josh tries to take the table from him, and he ends up putting Josh through the table. Talk about chaotic. All right. So then after this, we get the Impact in-ring debut of Masha Slamovich, who made her debut at Knockouts Knockdown against Deonna Purrazzo. And she's going up against Sandra Moone, who is also making her debut. Even though Sandra Moone went after Masha stopped her. This was basically Masha showing off her power. It was a squash match. Masha Slamovich won, making his statement or impact, pun intended, on her debut. All right. After this, we get a Steve Macklin promo, saying that in 2 days, he will finally get his one-on-one match for the X Division title. And a Hard to Kill, he will face a man who has yet, or he is a man that has yet to be beaten, has yet to be pinned or submitted, and has yet to be beaten by Trey Miguel. He said that Scott Moore said no, and he's heard many no's many times over the years, and that Gail Kim made a mistake of saying yes. And just then, Gail Kim interrupts him and informs Steve that if he can't beat Trey Miguel, he won't get another opportunity at the X Division title as long as Trey Miguel is champion. Then we get a quick segment with Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. They're just basically recapping. If you guys recall, Matt Cardona did hit Chelsea Green with the chair. So she says that she's fine, that she's a wrestler, she's been hit before, and that she's just worried how it would affect Cardona in his match. The gist of this whole segment is that they blame Moose for what happened at the contract signing. Then we get a Deonna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez. I have to say, like, wow, great match. Very great match. I mean, Deonna immediately attacked Mercedes Martinez. She didn't waste a single time. She didn't even wait for the bell. She attacked her right off the bat. She dominated most of this match. Of course, Mercedes Martinez was able to turn things around. But there was one instance where Deonna was pinning Mercedes Martinez, and she had the rope. The ref had to tell Deonna to let go. Matthew Greatwall distracted the ref to allow to distract Martinez so that she could break her hold on Deonna. And there was a lot of back and forth between them. Oh, Mercedes Martinez with the knee to the face, but Deonna ended up reversing it, and Deonna Purrazzo ended up winning. So then after that, Mickie James ended up checking on Mercedes Martinez. Then she got into the ring. And then Deonna looked like she was about to attack her, but Matthew Rainwall had to tell her, stop her, because remember, there is a no contact between them, and they're supposed to settle their differences at Hard to Kill. So, Deonna ended up just walking away. After this, we get a backstage segment with the Inspiration and their new show called All About I. And Jay with the I is their co-host. Jesse wants to remind everybody that they won their Knockouts tag team titles on their debut, and now that they will defend them at Hard to Kill. She says that the Influence is a perfect name for the team because they know they influenced the influence. And just then, Tenille Dashwood and Madison Rayne interrupt, claiming that the Inspiration ripped off their show. Tenille was pulling on Jesse's braid, and Madison was pulling on Cassie's tag title. This was a fun little segment. Absolutely liked it. I love the Inspiration. They're hilarious, and this just proved it. Then we get Madman Fulton and Ace Austin versus Johnny Swinger and Hernandez. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe commentary called Hernandez Hernandez. This was unfortunately a quick match. They dominated Swinger at the beginning, and then they isolated him from Hernandez. And then when Hernandez got tagged in, he went after Fulton, but it wasn't enough because Fulton and Ace Austin knocked him down. Oh no, he ended up knocking both of them down, but it still wasn't enough because Ace Austin and Mad Fulton ended up victorious. And I have to say, poor Johnny Swinger ran away and left Hernandez all by himself with those ham and eggers, Ace Austin and Mad Fulton. And Mad Fulton put a chair around Hernandez's arm, and then Ace Austin hit him with another steel chair. So it makes me wonder, is this a way to write off Hernandez from the show? I don't know where they're going with this angle. I hope they don't break up Johnny Swinger and Hernandez. That's like the best part of Impact. I still miss Swinger's Palace. All right. So next we get a backstage segment with W. Morrissey, and he basically goes on to say how last year when he came to Impact Wrestling, he was alone. He didn't have a single friend, fan, or supporter in this industry. That when you're at the top, everybody wants to be on your team, wants to be your supporter, call and text you and saying that they want to be on your side, and that but when he hit rock bottom, he did it alone. Basically, the gist of this is that he's been by himself pretty much since he started at Impact Wrestling. And he doesn't understand why he ever made an alliance with Moose. And he said that the minute he ended that alliance, he got a shot at the Impact World title and a Hard to Kill. When he stands against Moose and Cardona, he will be alone. And at the end of the night, he will be the last person standing as Impact World Champion, and he will be alone, just like how he likes it. Man, W. Morrissey's killing it with these promos as of late. That was a really good promo. I actually liked it. Because that's just how he is. He's been alone. He really didn't need moves, honestly, though they made an impressive alliance. Then in the main event, we had Karl Anderson versus Heath. The winner got a hardcore war advantage. Karl Anderson came out with the Good Brothers and Violin by Design. Heath came out with Willie Mack, Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards. Everybody was ringside. Chaos erupted. The ref kicked everybody out. Heath knocked Anderson down. And Karl Anderson ended up sending Heath crashing into the pole. Heath ended up turning things around and knocked Anderson down, but it was still only a 2 count. And Karl Anderson ended up being victorious. Then chaos erupted. Doc Gallows attacked Heath. Then Rhino came out and helped out Heath. Then Eric Young came out with the trash can lid. I don't know why a trash can lid. Joe Dorian came out with a trash can. Deonna had the flag. Edwards came out with the candlestick. Swan and Mac looked like they came out empty-handed. I don't know where Swan got a chair. He whacked Deonna with it. And then chaos broke out between both teams, and that is how the show ended. This show did a good job at making me excited for Hard to Kill. That is the whole purpose of a go-home show. Definitely did. So now for my Hard to Kill predictions. All right, we did find out that Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin for the X Division Championship is unfortunately going to be on Countdown to Hard to Kill and not on the main card. That is a crime that should be on the main card. Honestly, if there had to be a match on the pre-show, I would put the 10-man hardcore war match, because I don't really care for that one, especially because I'm tired of the VPD or Heath and Rhino thing. All right, so Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin. I'm gonna pick Steve Macklin. I think Steve Macklin's taking that belt off Trey Miguel. Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo. I originally thought Mickie James was going to retain, but because Deonna Purrazzo is doing the winner take all match against Roxy, I honestly think she's going to regain the Knockouts Championship, because it's pointless for them to do a winner take all and not include the Knockouts title. So I'm going to go with Deonna. Moose versus Matt Cardona versus Terry Morrissey. Come on now, Moose. The inaugural Knockouts Ultimate X match. It's Chelsea Green versus Jordan Grace versus Lady Frost versus Rachael Ellering versus Rosemary versus Tasha Steelz. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and pick Lady Frost just because I think she impressed me tonight. Granted, I've seen her wrestle, I think, 3 times, and each time she's been impressive. Josh Alexander versus Jonah. I have to go with Josh Alexander on this one. It doesn't make sense for him to lose. I mean, I know Jonah is still relatively new to Impact, but if he's not signed to a long-term deal, I think Josh Alexander is going to defeat Jonah. The 10-man hardcore war match, I'm going to give it to the team of Heath, Rhino, Eddie, Edwards, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack, just because I feel like we need to move on from this feud. The Inspiration versus the Influence, it's the tag team match for the Impact Knockouts tag team title. Gotta give it to the Inspiration. I don't think they're gonna lose the title so quickly. I'd be shocked if they lose those titles quickly. And then Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Sabin for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Jonathan Gresham. I don't think he's losing that title. I'd be shocked if he does. All right. Well, that concludes this review. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Rampage. Bye.